Joel and True Crew, it is your commander here, Geronimo. Welcome to yet another episode of Let's Play Starship Online, and in today's video we shall be taking a closer look at legendary Romulan Captain's Bundle. This episode is going to be a slightly bit longer than usual because we have a lot of different things to cover. That being said, without any further ado, let's proceed with the episode. Engage! The legendary pack can be acquired if you open up your Zen store. Go to the On Sale tab, scroll down a little bit until you find yourself a legendary Romulan Captain Bundle. This bundle is going to usually cost 12,000 Zen, however for their limited time only it can be yours for 6,000 Zen, which is a very good offer considering if you do not own any of the starships from within the pack. This pack also contains a level 65 Romulan booster. We're going to be talking about it real soon. However, you will get basically nothing when you purchase this pack. What you need to do not be afraid. Go to the Items tab, scroll down, level 65 Romulan Captain Pack. You have to claim this for free. This is going to be your Romulan booster. Now, how to get a ship? Go to the Ships tab, scroll down, find Legendary Light Intel Warbird or Telis class refit. Claim it also for free because you purchased your bundle and now you have it. Two different things: Kickstarter for the Romulans and a legendary Romulan starship. As soon as you open up your Romulan Kickstarter, you get this screen on. Congratulations, Fleet Admiral! By unpacking the level 65 Romulan Captain Pack on this captain, you have been promoted to the Fleet Admiral, level 65. You also have access to the variety of gear, skills, resources to tackle the most challenging missions. This pack will include Legendary Light Intel Warbird, Tier 6 as seen in Star Trek Picard. You get 2 Starship and 6 Bridge Officer slots. You get full suit of Mark 14 very rare ground and space equipment, which can be seen on the screen right now. I'm going to give you a second to take a peek at it because there are really a lot of things in there. You also get 5 enhanced universal tech upgrades, 36 inventory and 12 bank slots, 6 very rare bridge officers, pre-equipped and trained in all basic abilities. Amazing. 5 bridge officers specialization qualification tokens, 250,000 dilithium reputation vouchers, 1 million energy credits, and 1 million of expertise. This is basically what you get from the pack. Can this pack be sent to another Romulan character that you own? I'm not 100% sure. You will have to check it out. I believe it can. However, if you open this pack on Romulan who is on level 65, there are some restrictions. You will not get everything from within the pack. What won't you get? I'm not certain at this time. Now this is going to wrap up the first part of the video. We're now going to be taking a look at this starship. I'm very excited. Hope that you are as well. Let's go.
Romulan Telis Refit Warbird is a perfect recreation of the antiquated vessel that we have seen in Star Trek Picard, episode Absolute Candor. If a ship looks good, I usually say it's almost perfect. However, I have said that this one is perfect. And that is all because the CBS sent the original digital model of the Telis Refit to the Cryptic team, who have then used it to make the ship's in-game model, meaning that you're literally flying the vessel what was seen on the screen. It's very exciting and it looks very, very good. On template options we have everything. Tier 6 Zen Store Maylam, TOS era Telis Warbird from the promo R&D box as seen in episode Balance of Terror, Telis Refit from this legendary pack, and the ominous Tavaro as seen in Star Trek Enterprise episode The Minefield. There is no special bridge and I always find it to be a shame. I know we haven't seen this bridge, however, we had a good look of TOS bridge, so recreation of that would have been wonderful. Telis Refit doesn't have any window options to customize, however, other ships on the list do. Material options also have everything and then even more. Aged Romulan Mirror Universe, Riemann Type 1 and 2, Romulan Fleet 1 and 2, and Romulan Types 0, OB, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Romulan Brown. There is also Telis Refit material alongside with Tavaro and classic upgraded design. Advanced options never disappoint, except when they do. The ship comes with a standard list of patterns, and on the style you get to swap ship's components with other components from the pool of existing ships templates. In process, you can create your own perfect legendary Starship variant. I love the fact that you can have Talis with no decal option. There is also Talis Beta, which will turn your Bizarre collectors orange to get that perfect TOS replica as seen in Balance of Terror. Love attention to small details. Hull paint job can be simply changed with the left and right side color modification. If you set your left side to the blue and right side to the lime, you can now see how the ship will look with alternate paint job and what areas are getting changed by it. As I said, this video is going to be a little bit longer, so I would like to do a commercial break in here before we proceed into space. Romulan Bird of Prey was a type of starship utilized by the Romulan Star Empire ever since 22nd century. Back in the day of the NX-01 Enterprise, this ship was called Tavaro class. Even back then, it was equipped with cloaking device. Successful design of a Tavaro led to its retrofitting. In 23rd century, Romulans used yet another variant of a bird of prey, this time called Talis class Warbird. Ship was equipped with a cloaking device and a devastating unstable plasma torpedo launcher. One Centurion even stated that Talis is finest and proudest flagship of a Praetor, and it held nuclear warheads, which were used for ship's self-destruct sequence. It was also stated in the same episode by the Montgomery Scott that Talis, unlike Tavaro class, had a simple impulse capability. No warp. Strange for a flagship. In Star Trek Picard, we have seen heavy refit of a Talis Warbird. However, the ship was being referred to as an antique, which makes sense. The ancient ship was captained by a Romulan warlord named Kal Kantar. Imagine if the Romulans were to mass-produce these starships again, however, build them and equip them within 25th century standards. That would be amazing. This Warbird is classified as a scalable Tier 6 Talis Legendary Light Intel Warbird. The vessel can be acquired as soon as you finish tutorial mission and will from then on scale up alongside with you. As you rank up every 10 levels up to level 40, the ship's weapons complements, tactical, science and engineering console slots as well as bridge officer ability slots will slowly increase in number towards its endgame capabilities. You may collect mastery points, however mastery as a system won't be in effect until you reach level 50. All of this falls into water if you apply a booster to the level 65. Then you're done. No scaling will be required and your ship will have full endgame capabilities. In case that you create new character but don't use the booster token, full table of scaling can be seen on the overlay right now. Romulan Warbirds are pre-equipped with standard equipment and weapons of the lowest mark available at Starship's minimum rank. The items provided are appropriate for the type of vessel and its belonging time period. When you unbox your legendary Talis, ship comes pre-equipped with standard plasma weapons and equipment, but from the 23rd century. This does make sense as the original was built back in the day, but still feels wrong for some reason. However, I love it. Pre-equipped weapons and equipment table is on the screen right now. As an Admiralty card, the vessel comes with 29 engineering points, 51 tactical points and 37 science points. Its special ability is that it will add plus 35 to tactical points when you send it on an Admiralty mission all alone. Maintenance period is standard 18 hours, no matter if it's legendary or not, it's all the same. On level 65 you have 54,000 hull HP. There are 5 forward weapon slots that support dual cannon mounts, as well as 2 normal aft weapon slots. These 2 aft weapon slots are supported by additional experimental weapon slot, but more about that soon. Available bridge officer stations are Commander Tactical Cross Intelligence, Lieutenant Engineering, Lieutenant Commander Science, Lieutenant Commander Universal Cross Command, and Ensign Universal. You get to use 2 device slots, but have access to the 4 tactical, 3 engineering, and 4 science console slots. All Tier 6 vessels have 3 modifiers, and those for the Talis are 1.2 for the hull, 0.9 for the shields, and 0.21 for the impulse. This Warbird's turn rate is graded as 18 degrees per second with inertia rating of 65. Romulan engineers have assured us that this vessel comes with a stable power boost. and those are plus 15 to engineering and plus 5 to the engine subsystem power settings. Majority of Alpha and Beta Quadrant species power their vessels with matter-antimatter warp cores or nuclear propulsion drives, but not the Romulans. Romulans use artificial forced quantum singularity, aka Singularity Core. Not only that it provides power for entire ship and all of its systems, the unique power generator allows you to perform some unique and special abilities. As soon as the red alert starts, Singularity Core starts powering up from 0 all the way to 5. The more charges that you accumulate, the more powerful or longer lasting the abilities will be. The abilities that you can use are Plasma Shockwave, Quantum Absorption, Warp Shadows, Singularity Jump, and Singularity Overcharge. Use of any of these abilities will drain Singularity Core back to 0, and it will start a cooldown before the next charge-up sequence can begin. All Romulan Warbirds are equipped with their super secret technology, Cloaking device, but this ship comes with a perfect layout of a torpedo boat, and only to add to that we have enhanced Battle Cloak. Battle cloaking devices allow you to cloak even while you're in combat, however your shields will go down as you cloak. As your cloak is powering up, you will be very vulnerable for these few seconds. When under cloak, you cannot use any of the offensive abilities. However, enhanced Battle Cloak allows a player to fire torpedoes to deploy mines, as well as to use majority of bridge officer abilities, by momentarily decloaking and then automatically recloaking. Just like General Chang's Bird of Prey in Star Trek Undiscovered Country, you are targetable for these few seconds while you decloak and recloak, and you also won't have shields. Be mindful of what you do. As an Intel Warbird, you have access to active sensor arrays and passive warp signature masking that will mask your Warbird's warp signature, rendering it undetectable from long distances. This buff is deactivated as soon as you cloak. Active sensor arrays allow you to deploy Intelligence Gathering Drone that will immediately after launch cloak and fly towards the enemy target to perform penetrating scans. Every 1 second, target receives 1 penetrating scan mark. Once the target reaches the 15 stacks, they become vulnerable for a short amount of time. Multiple intelligence vessels can contribute to the collection of penetrating scan stacks, causing the target to become vulnerable more quickly. While vulnerable, Intel ships can use expose vulnerability abilities on a target and placing a crippling debuff. After the vulnerable stat expires, target becomes immune to the further stacks of gather intel for a short time. You can choose to expose vulnerability of weapon systems, defenses, or critical systems. You'll also get the enjoyment of playing with experimental weapon, as you do have experimental weapon slot pre-equipped with hyper-excited ion stream projector. Experimental weapons come with 360-degree firing arcs. The ion stream projector fires a stream of ions that deal electrical damage to a struck target and will chain to 4 additional targets if they're lined up. Firing cycle lasts 4 seconds, but luckily for us you can replace it with any other experimental weapon. Let's make one more quick commercial pause in here if that's okay with you. Welcome back, crew! Although this is a Tier 6 vessel, it is not an ordinary Tier 6 but rather a legendary Tier 6 starship. This means it comes with a 6-tier mastery skill tree instead of 5-tier and has a multiple ship trait unlocks on Tier 5. Tillis's mastery skill tree is of tactical warbirds and it's comprised out of precise weapon systems, enhanced singularity circuitry, enhanced weapon systems, devastating weaponry, and multiple ship traits. First you get Withering Barrage from a Tier 6 Zenstor Malem Warbird. As long as this trait is slotted, duration of cannon scatter volley is prolonged. Second trait is called Build to Last and it comes from a Tillis class Warbird, which can be found in R&D promo pack. As long as this trait is slotted, Hull Healing Bridge Officer abilities will grant you regeneration and will decrease weapon power cost. Sixth trait is a unique, legendary trait. It's called Assault Formation Theta. While this trait is slotted, Every time you activate Attack Pattern Omega or you decloak, your vessel gains a significant boost to the turn rate and to Starship weapon amplification. Also, you will gain Torpedo High Yield free. All of this so far is screaming that this Destabilizer refit is going to be perfect Torpedo Boat. Legendary ships are pre-equipped with all universal consoles that came from all of the variants of given Starship. This means you will get a console from Zen Starship variants, Tier 1 Tavaro, Tier 5 Tavaro, and Tier 6 Melam. However, we still have a console from Tier 6 Promo R&D vessel, which is making 4 consoles overall. Let's start from Tier 1 console and work our way up. Singularity Stabilizer was initially designed to prevent catastrophic loss of containment if Warbird's Singularity core got damaged. During the prototyping stage, it was discovered that the stabilizer could also be used on a non-damaged singularities to provide a significant efficiency boost by essentially rebooting a Singularity core to increase the effective power output. Remember when I said that Singularity core goes on a cooldown after you use Singularity ability? Use of this console re-enables Singularity power meter instantly, as well as giving you 2 Singularity power charges every second for the next 2 seconds. Console comes with 1 minute recharge time. Plasma Destabilizer allows you to launch a massive, slow-moving destabilized plasma torpedo, as seen in TOS episode Balance of Terror. This torpedo will do extra damage upon impact, splashing the area of 2.5 kilometers with plasma, as well as weakening the armor of affected enemies. This torpedo can be targeted and attacked, but is much more resilient than any standard high-yield torpedo. You can fire destabilized plasma in a 90-degree firing arc. This console has a 1 minute of recharge time. And for me personally, it never gets old seeing this plasma torpedo exploding. Plasma Warhead Module contains a load of 6 plasma torpedoes ready for simultaneous fire. Once fired, the system will automatically start reloading these torpedoes over time, to be precise 1 charge every 20 seconds. Due to that, there is no specific cooldown period for this console. At any time, you can decide to activate this system and fire as many torpedoes as are currently loaded. Because it comes with a Tier 6 Starship, it provides a passive boost to the projectile weapon damage. Those 3 consoles are part of Enhanced Projectile Efficiency set. For every console you equip after the first, you get additional power. Equip any 2 consoles together and you will get Enhanced Projectile Potency, which will give you bonus to the projectile damage and faster projectile weapon recharge. By equipping all 3 consoles together, you will get a self-explanatory shield-penetrating projectiles. Said bonuses are displayed on the screen right now. Last but certainly not the least, we have Ominous Device, inspired by TOS episode The Corbomite Maneuver. Activating this ability, you will execute the aforementioned The Corbomite Maneuver. All nearby enemy starships will flee from you for a very brief period before they realize they have been fooled. Affected foes will have their damage resistance and defenses reduced substantially for a short amount of time. This console also provides a passive boost to all damage. Shipping Combat is the best deal that I have used this year. It can melt absolutely everything in front of itself. I've used dual beams because this is how the ship appeared on the screen during Picard. However, it works beautifully with cannons as well. As I have said multiple times throughout this video, this is the best torpedo boat that Romulans have ever produced. So, if you'd like, you can try to make a torpedo build out of it as well. Ship's mastery traits are already known, and one of them, the Withering Barrage, is a must-have if you use cannon build. For all of you torpedo lovers out there, Assault Formation Theta is perfect option for you. You can even exploit the 2-piece competitive set to get a cloak every time when you stop. As soon as you move, you'll decloak and get torpedo high yield free. We all know the consoles, and I have to say I love Destabilized Plasma and Warhead Module. Ship's enhanced battle cloaks turn Tillis into a stealth bomber, and intel abilities give it a further edge in combat. Overall, I give it a golden 10 out of 10. Also, I owe a big thank you to all of my channel members who directly help me fund episodes such as this, especially Mr. Patty, who's a tier 2 member. Remember, if you want your name or message to be shouted out at the end of every episode, all you need to do is become a channel member.
This is going to wrap yet another video up, crew. I really hope that you enjoyed this little presentation. If you did so, please leave a like. It's telling the YouTube's algorithm that you really enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing for more STO videos and think about becoming channel's member, because this is really going to help a lot. And that being said, I love you all because you, crew, are absolutely the best. And I love you all. Geronimo, out.